Just 4 races remaining in the DTM Championship for 2019 as the first race of 2 at the Nurburgring got underway, and it was a really ambitious start from Nico Müller. René Rast, of course, had done a brilliant job in qualifying and put the car P1 and managed to retain that P1 position as Nico Müller and Mike Rockenfeller and Bruno Spengler all made their way through turn number 1, and the rest of the cars heading now towards turn number 2. René Rast already stretching his legs ahead of Nico Müller. Nico Müller's ambitious start would prove to be too ambitious. He jumped the start and would pick up a drive-through penalty, which was just what he didn't need. But as you can see here, long before the lights went out, Nico Müller was on the loud pedal, and that meant that he would pick up that drive-through penalty. So that all played into the hands of René Rast, our championship leader, as Nico Müller then made an early trip into the pit lane to serve that drive-through penalty. René Rast and Mike Rockenfeller stopping for their mandatory stops on the same lap, and you can see the advantage René Rast had over that P2 position as they exited the pit lane with new tyres on, which would have to last right until the end of the race. Elsewhere, there were plenty of ding-dong battles going on. Here we can see Sheldon van der Linde and Jamie Green and Jonathan Aberdeen and Loic Duval all in a 4-way fight going on here. Just a little touch between Sheldon van der Linde and Jonathan Aberdeen, and Loic Duval trying to take advantage of everything that was going on ahead of them as Sheldon van der Linde squeezed by Jonathan Aberdeen as they made their way through one turn after the other, and Loic Duval in the end the big beneficiary as he managed to get past the BMW of Sheldon van der Linde, or did he, as they made their way through turn number 5. It was all playing into the hands of Jamie Green, who was able to escape the fight that was going on, and one in which he was involved just a few meters before. Well, eventually Sheldon van der Linde would manage to keep that BMW ahead. This is Jamie Green then, who was coming under pressure from Marco Wittmann, who of course had a lowly start position, but Marco was slowly clawing his way up the order to try and bank as many points as possible in his hopes of keeping his championship dreams alive. And this was the battle for P4, and you could hear the crowd really erupting as this ding-dong battle continued between the two of them. It was Audi versus BMW, Marco versus Jamie, and eventually it would be Marco that would rule in that particular battle that continued for corner after corner. It was a very regrettable retirement for Mike Rockenfeller. Brought the car back to safety of the pit lane because of a fluid leakage, but René Rast then, he had one turn to do to head towards his 6th victory of the season. An extraordinary win for René Rast, who looked really polished and comfortable, and it was a brilliant P2 for Bruno Spengler as he headed towards the checkered flag. Of course, he took a win earlier on in the season, but it was his 2nd trip to the podium and P2 on this occasion. And Marco Wittmann for P8 on the grid managed to make it into P3. René Rast, a very happy man, and of course cementing his position right at the top of the Drivers' Championship with another maximum points haul. 25 points for the win, 3 points for P1 in qualifying. René Rast on a charge.